Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Sounds like fun.
It is. And sometimes it feels like we're living in a sci-fi movie with all the crazy advancements happening.
I know, right? It's hard to keep up.
Like, have you heard about this new AI model from
Yeah.
OpenAI? It's supposed to be 100 times more powerful than GPT-4.
Oh, yeah, I saw something about that. Is that the one they're calling Orion?
Yeah, Orion, according to TLDR newsletter anyway. They're saying it could be released as early as December.
Wow. So this year,
That's what they're saying.
100 times more powerful. Can't even imagine what that would be like.
Right. Like, what would it even do? Would it finally be AGI?
Maybe. Or maybe it'll just be really good at writing our emails.
Uh-huh. True. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
The anticipation is killing me.
Oh, and get this. Microsoft is already prepping Azure to host this beast of a model.
So they're all in on this, huh?
Seems like it. They're saying it could be ready as early as November.
Wow, even sooner than the model itself.
It's interesting, though. They haven't actually confirmed if it'll be called GPT-5.
Yeah, that is weird. Why all the secrecy?
Maybe they're just trying to build hype.
I guess it's working.
Speaking of hype, Apple's got their own big week coming up.
Oh, yeah. Mac Week is upon us.
I'm really curious to see what they announce.
Me too. What do you think they'll unveil?
Well, Greg Joswiak, who's like one of their top guys, has been teasing a week of Mac announcements starting Monday.
So it sounds like it'll be more than just one thing.
Right. And the rumor mill is churning with all sorts of possibilities.
Like what? Give me the rundown.
Okay, so we might see a new low-end 14-inch MacBook Pro.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then there's talk of high-end 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pros, too.
Nice. I bet those will be powered by the M4 chips, right?
Yeah, that's what everyone's expecting. And then there might be a new iMac.
Oh, wow. A new iMac.
And to top it all off, maybe even a new Mac Mini.
Okay, that's a pretty solid lineup.
Right. It's going to be an exciting week for Apple fans.
No kidding. Although, didn't some Russian YouTubers already leak the new MacBook Pros?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I saw that, too. How do they always get those early releases?
It's like their superpower.
I know, right? It's kind of funny, though.
It is. But honestly, it wouldn't be Apple without a few leaks before the big event.
True that. And remember, they did reveal the M3 chip around Halloween last year, so this timing makes sense.
Yeah, you're right. It all lines up. But you want to talk about something that's really blowing my mind.
Hit me with it.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about robots earlier?
Yeah, what about them?
Well, have you heard about the ones that can actually walk like humans?
Wait, really? Like actually walk, not just like waddle around or do parkour?
No, I mean like real human walking. It's crazy.
That's insane. Where did you see this?
It was in the Neuron newsletter. Apparently, there's a company called Engine AI, and they've built a humanoid robot that walks just like us.
Whoa. Okay, so we're all doomed, right? Like Terminator style.
Uh-huh. Not necessarily. It is pretty incredible, though. It's a huge leap forward from what we've seen before.
I bet. But like, how is that even possible? How do they make a machine move that smoothly?
It's all about advanced algorithms and sophisticated engineering.
Yeah.
But even though it's super cool, it's still early days, you know?
Right. Like they can walk now, but what else can they do?
That's the big question, isn't it? We're a long way from having robots that can truly integrate into our world and do all the things we can do, but this is definitely a huge step in that direction.
No doubt. It's both exciting and kind of scary at the same time. But hey, that's technology for you. Always pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Exactly. And speaking of pushing boundaries, there's been some interesting news from Anthropic about their AI, Claude.
Oh yeah, what's up with Claude?
Well, apparently it can run code now.
Wow.
Like actually write and execute code.
Yeah. They've added this new analysis tool to Claude, which is basically their version of GPT's code interpreter. So it's like Claude can now test its own solutions and maybe even give us more accurate answers.
Yes, the idea is pretty wild.
It is. So does that mean it can, like, play Minecraft or something?
Maybe. But there are still some limitations. For example, the whole data set has to fit within Claude's context window.
Ah, so that limits how much it can actually process.
Exactly. But Neuron also mentioned some workarounds for this, so who knows what they'll come up with next.
Yeah, the possibilities are pretty much endless at this point. It's amazing to think about.
It really is. It feels like we're living in the future, doesn't it?
It totally does.
Right.
But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about some of the other cool things happening in AI right now. Like, have you heard about what Meta's been up to?
Fill me in. What have they been working on? Oh, they've been busy. They just released these new Llama 3.2 models.
Yeah, and get this, they're small enough to run on your phone.
Wait, what? Phone-sized AI models. How is that even possible?
Apparently, they used a technique called quantization, which is basically a way of compressing the models to make them smaller and faster.
That's pretty impressive. But doesn't compressing them like that affect their performance?
It seems not. They've got versions with 1 billion and 3 billion parameters, and from what I've heard, the quality hasn't been significantly affected.
Wow, so we could have powerful AI running right in our pockets.
That's the idea. It's crazy to think about.
It really is. AI is becoming more accessible than ever before. But, with all this talk about powerful AI, we can't forget about the ethical side of things.
You're right. It's important to use this technology responsibly. Speaking of which, did you hear about what Google's doing with their photo editing tools?
No, what's going on?
So, starting next week, they're adding disclosures to any photos that have been edited with their AI-powered tools.
Which tools are we talking about?
Things like Magic Editor, Magic Eraser, and Zoom Enhance. All those cool AI features.
Ah, I see. So basically, they're being transparent about when AI has been used to alter an image.
Exactly. It's a good step towards building trust with users, don't you think?
I agree. It's important to know what's real and what's been manipulated, especially with AI becoming so sophisticated.
Totally. But it makes you wonder if other platforms will follow suit. Like will Instagram or TikTok start doing the same thing?
It'll be interesting to see. Hopefully this sets a precedent for more transparency in the industry.
Fingers crossed. But speaking of industry giants, have you been following the drama with Google and Anthropic?
You mean their massive $2.2 billion investment? Yeah, I've been keeping tabs on that. What are your thoughts?
It's a lot of money. I can't help but wonder what Google's endgame is here.
Yeah, it's definitely raised some eyebrows. In fact, the UK is launching an investigation into the deal.
Seriously, what are they investigating?
Potential antitrust issues. They're calling it a quasi-merger, and they're worried that Google might be trying to stifle competition in the AI market.
It's a valid concern, isn't it? Google's already a behemoth, and now they're pouring billions into another AI company.
It does make you think. It does. It highlights just how much power these tech giants wield and how much influence they have on the future of AI. Meanwhile, on the other side of the pond, the White House is taking a different approach.
Really? What are they doing?
They've just issued an order for the Pentagon and other government agencies to ramp up their use of AI.
That's interesting. What's the rationale behind that?
Well, it seems they're recognizing the potential of AI to enhance national security and improve various government operations.
I guess that makes sense. But isn't there a risk in giving AI more power, especially in a military context?
There are definitely risks involved. The White House acknowledges that. But they're also urging the Pentagon to prioritize the development of ethical guidelines and guardrails to guide their AI initiatives.
That's good to hear. It's crucial to have those checks and balances in place as AI becomes more powerful.
Absolutely. But, while some companies are racing ahead in AI, others seem to be falling behind.
Oh, who are you thinking of?
Well, there have been some reports suggesting that Apple might be lagging in the AI race.
Apple? Really? I thought they were usually at the forefront of innovation.
They are, but when it comes to AI, it seems they might be playing catch-up. For example, there are estimates that ChatGPT is about 25% more accurate than Siri.
Ouch, that's got to sting a little. But hey, it's Apple. I'm sure they'll find a way to innovate their way back to the top.
I'm sure they will. But it highlights just how competitive the AI landscape is becoming. Everyone's vying for a piece of the pie. But speaking of AI, remember how we were talking about those robots that can walk like humans?
Oh, yeah. That was mind-blowing. What about them?
Well, that got me thinking about the broader field of robotics. It's not just about walking anymore. It's about creating machines that can interact with the world in increasingly sophisticated ways.
True. And that brings up a whole bunch of other questions, like how will these robots impact society? Will they take our jobs? Will they become our friends or our overlords?
All valid questions. It's both exciting and a little bit scary to think about. But one thing's for sure, robotics is a field that's advancing at an incredible pace, and it's going to have a profound impact on our lives in the years to come.
No doubt about it. It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. But for now, let's take a quick break and then come back to explore some other fascinating tech developments that are sure to spark your imagination.
So where were we?
Oh, yeah.
Robots. It's amazing to think that we might be living in a world where robots are part of our everyday lives.
I know, right? It wasn't that long ago that robots were mostly just a thing in science fiction movies.
And now they're walking around doing backflips and who knows what else.
It's mind-blowing. But speaking of mind-blowing, did you hear about this company called Humane that's developing a wearable AI assistant?
A wearable AI assistant. That sounds intriguing. Tell me more.
It's called the A-Pin, and it's basically this little device you wear on your clothing.
There's no more carrying around bulky phones or smartwatches. That's the idea. It's all about being screen-free and hands-free. You interact with it using voice commands and gestures.
So how does it display information, like if you ask it for directions or something?
Well, it has this tiny projector built in that can display information on any surface.
Wow, that's pretty slick. What else can it do?
It's still in development, but they're saying it'll be able to do all sorts of things like make calls, send messages, translate languages, and even control smart home devices.
That's incredible. It sounds like it could really change the way we interact with technology.
I think so too. It's all about making technology more seamless and integrated into our lives.
It's like AI is becoming more personal and accessible than ever before.
Exactly. And speaking of personal AI, remember we were talking about those Llama 3.2 models from Meta?
The ones that are small enough to run on a phone? Yeah, what about them?
Well, apparently people are using them to create personalized AI companions.
AI companions, like virtual friends.
Pretty much. They're using these models to create AI characters with unique personalities and backstories. They can chat with them, get advice, and even just have a virtual companion to hang out with.
Wow, that's both fascinating and a little bit creepy, don't you think?
I know, right? It's like something out of a Black Mirror episode.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But it also raises some interesting questions about the future of social interaction. Like, what happens when people start preferring AI companions over real human connection?
It's a valid concern,
Yeah,
but I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.
I guess so. But hey, at least we'll have our robot butlers to keep us company, right?
True. And who knows, maybe those robots will be able to walk and talk just like us by then.
Nah, that would be something.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have, from superpowered AI models to walking robots and wearable AI assistants. It's been quite a journey.
It has. And it just goes to show that the world of technology is constantly evolving and full of surprises.
And that's what makes it so exciting. Who knows what incredible advancements are just around the corner?
Exactly. But for now, we'll have to leave it there. It's been a pleasure chatting with you as always.
Pleasure's all mine.
And to all of you listening out there, thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.